What's up guys, it's Woolf from Scratch and welcome back to another Civilization 5 guide. So if you're new to us, welcome. I'm Woolf from, now Cliche or Cliche, however you want to pronounce it. And well, I do Civ 5 guides and been doing this for a while now. We were on the old YouTube channel From Scratch, had to move from that, due to a bit of controversy, and we're now on this new channel. So hello if you're joining us first time, and welcome back if you're a returning viewer. So last time I did a civilization. It's been a while, so I've forgotten who it was. But this time we're back on the train again. We're doing another civilization from Vanilla Civilization 5. Honestly, never been my favourite civilization. We're doing Japan today, but it is my associate in Cliche Niche, my good friend Comrade Ados. So I've taken a lot of stuff from today's guide from his experiences. So it's less of Wolf's guide and more Ado's guide, but let's get straight into it.
You are the ruler of Japan, the land of the rising sun. The Japanese are an island people. Your civilization stretches back thousands of years, years of bloody warfare, expansion and isolation, great wealth and great poverty. In addition to their prowess on the field of battle, your people are also immensely industrious, and their technological innovation and mighty factories are the envy of lesser people everywhere. Legendary Daimyo, will you grab the reins of destiny? Will you bring your family and people honor and glory? Will you once again pick up sword and shield and march to triumph? Can you build a civilization that will stand the test of time?
Lovely. So as you can see, Japan's special ability is Bushido, where their units will fight at full strength even when damaged. And since the fall patch last year, 2013, Japan gets one culture from every fishing boat they have, and two culture from each atoll. This, so, like Sweden's special ability and any other ability which has two parts, we'll cut this Bushido into its two sections. First part, which is the beautiful section, is where the units fight at full strength when damaged. This is lovely. It will last you from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, useful for both war, which is the obvious usage for it, as well as barbarian hunting in the early game. The other part, the culture, is absolute bullshit, and it really does not do much consequence to you. I understand why the game developers put it in. Japan being an island people, they've got that big cultural thing towards fish. But seriously, even though Japan does have the cultural start, the coastal start, sorry, the amount of culture you're going to get is really inconsequential. And the only real usage you're going to get from the atolls is on more of an archipelago style map. And when you are playing an archipelago map, you're going to prioritize these naval civilizations as England, the Ottomans, the Dutch, Polynesia, people that are better for doing an archipelago style naval domination map. And when you are playing on those kind of naval map, the iron that you're using, instead of going towards your unique unit, the samurai, it's going to be prioritized into your frigates, which is sort of the reverse psychology of what you really need to be doing as Japan, which is pumping out these little babies. So that's my little rant on how that second part of Bushido is absolute BS. And I think a lot of people agree with me on that. But if you don't, please post in the comments, because I'd love to hear the other side of the story, why. But it is nice having that extra culture, and I do see it would add up eventually. But, yeah, Japan was fine without it. So let's move straight on to their first new unit, which is the samurai. So upon researching steel, you'll unlock the Japanese unique unit, the samurai. Samurai, of course, replaces the longswordsman. And while it has the same strength as the longswordsman, which is 21, this unit, and what makes it feared on the battlefield, it comes with Shock 1, as well as having Great Generals 2, which is similar to Alexander's companion cavalry, which of course has Great Generals 2. And this unit, of course, to go along with the BS part of the special ability of Bushido, the samurai can also build fishing boats when they've got a bit of spare time. When they're not killing your enemies, they can just hop in the water and build a fishing boat. The samurai, instead of upgrading to the musketman, it also upgrades to the rifleman, similar to the Zulu impi. And also, it's quite pretty. Look at all those banners. It's reminding me of Shogun 2. Oh look, I love all these banners. I love all those little things in Civ. Looks very pretty. But this unit, at the time this is being pumped out, you should really be having barracks and armories, and that will set you up for some very nice promotions. But I'll cover that more in the summary at the end. So there's Japan's samurai, probably one of the most feared units, I'd say, of the middle game, or the early middle game. So let's move now on to the next part of Japan, their feared aircraft. So upon researching radar, you unlock the Japanese unique unit, the Zero. The Zero replaces the fighter, and where it differs, it does have the same strength as a fighter, but it does not require oil, and that is part of the beauty of this unit. It also has a 33% bonus against other fighters, making it beautiful at interception. The Zero allows you to essentially dominate the air, and at this stage of the game, really allowing a path for your bombers to just come through and destroy the enemy by air, while your samurai infantry come and dominate the ground. It really becomes, at this stage of the game, you're already on the way to winning, and the Zero is essentially your ticket to that victory in the late game. The only Civ that could possibly balance the field is the Americans, with their flying fortresses. So I'll just produce one of these Zeros, and then we'll just talk about the whole Japanese Civ as a whole. Where are they? Come on. Zeros. 5 turns. Alright, so we finally built our first Zero, the Mitsubishi, whatever it's called, I forget whatever the model was. But as you can see, the promotions, got a nice little Zeros. They're of course the model looks different, with the vanilla fighter looking more like the German Messerschmitt, and I think or maybe a Spitfire in the background. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure the one in the foreground is a Messerschmitt, which of course the Germans used in the Second World War. As looking through its promotions, as you can see, bonus versus fighters, which is of course unique, a fighters thing, and the rest of course are your general fighter stuff. And of course we are playing from the Atomic era, so we have all these lovely promotions, and essentially we can just add more onto them and make this fighter even better than what it currently is. Great engineer. We're autocracy. Why not? Let's just pop it. There you are. Prora. Because, why not? Where are you? Where's my engineer? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's gone. What is this? Game? You were lying to me? Anyway, I think the game's lying to me. Never mind. So, to summarize the civilization as a whole, let's start with their social policies for what Japan should go down. In terms of social policies, and I've just opened up a couple because, well, I can. In the early game, honor is absolutely great. You can see barbarian encampments, which means a bit of barbarian culture farming, and with Bushido, barbarian farming is a whole lot easier. As well as this nice little policy here, warrior code. First of all, get you a nice little great general, which is of course useful in your first campaigns, as well as that extra production from training melee units, and that will also mean that you can start pumping out that samurai just a little bit faster. And with speaking with good old friend Comrade Ado, he loves a liberty combo. He loves liberty every single time. Doesn't matter what he does. Any civilization, liberty. He's always about liberty. So I've got liberty. Well, why not? General warmongering stuff, commerce to keep your gold supplies nice and up. Rationalism because hey, why not? If you're gonna destroy everyone else, you might as well have a nice science boost. And in terms of ideology, autocracy is absolutely the way to go. Why? Mainly things like elite forces. Because why? Wounded military units inflict 25% more damage, which really serves to make your Bushido more rounded, as well as to offset your unhappiness from things like happiness from your national wonders and luxury, not luxuries, courthouses and all that kind of stuff, and as well as to enhance your Bushido, such as elite forces, as you can see on the screen. So, I guess to summarize the victory path, you have to do domination. You must follow the way of the warrior. And it makes me angry, especially when talking to Ado about the time when, I was Japan and I did a science victory, or I did some Diplo victory. You're Japan. You must do a domination victory. It's what you've been designed to do. You excel at domination. And so, if you don't do domination victory, you're a bit of a dummy, especially with this kind of civilization. When you grab your samurai, it is your visual cue to really start beginning your conquest. The samurai are feared for a reason. With barracks and armories, you're really already on your way to having Siege 1 or March. Both are very, very useful promotions. Siege, of course, making city taking a lot easier. March keeps them on the front lines for longer. And this ability also sort of helps to... This ability is not also counting Bushido, which in combat will give you that extra nice edge. The Zero really allows you to dominate the air. And unless you're coming up against an American player with their B-17s, you really will have that domination. The bonus against fighters is nice, the no oil cost is great, and as I said, the only use that could really even the playing field is the B-17s. Which makes makes the air game a lot more interesting. Sort of like having two naval civs clash against each other. It's always quite nice spectating that kind of conflict. In terms of the AI, he's quite similar to his real life counterpart. He's a mix of aggression, calm, isolation, yet expansion. So, while he's not the biggest backstabber like our good old friend Attila here, he is a bit more cunning. Interesting, more weighty. Not as cunning as Augustus, but still, keep your eye on him, because he should be feared for a reason, especially if he has samurai, and he does like to rush their unit. As well as a nice little trick, the thing that Ada was telling me about, is that the AI absolutely loves to prioritize their building of zeros, even over wonders. He was telling me a story about how he had a spy in Kyoto, and how he observed with two turns to go, the AI stopped building the Globe Theatre, and just started building heaps and heaps of zeros. And the AI loves to do this across all of their cities. So if you do go and invade Japan, expect to come up against zeros. And especially in the hands of a human player, who of course knows that this unit is absolutely wonderful. So there's my guide, more like Ado's guide to the Japanese civilization. I haven't really gone into Japan too much in my own playthroughs, mainly because I haven't been, not a sort of that has super interested me. Whether that's because I haven't been a big fan of the soundtrack, which is a big deal for me, or just something that hasn't been appealing for me compared to other civs such as the Ottomans or Rome, mainly because I love Rome. And finally, to add, with the cultural bonus that they do get now from Bushido, while it can be nice if you do have lots of fishing boats, and while you have more incentive if it is a luxury resource like whales, pearls, etc., if it is just fish, then you've got less incentive to spend it on normal 240 gold or spend a production on getting the workboat, unless it's a luxury resource, because obviously then you've got the happiness incentive to do so. But other than that, it really isn't the greatest, and while I don't regret, I'm not going to complain about the developers putting that bonus in, it's a bit iffy. It feels almost a bit out of place. Not culturally out of place for that civilization, but a bit like, well, how does this help me kind of thing. So, there's my guide to the Japanese civilization. Thank you for watching. This is the return of the Civ 5 guides, now on Cliche Niche. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and it's Woolf out.